Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Hannibal. If you don't know who I am, welcome. It is so cold today in my house that this is the first time I've filmed wearing a hoodie. And I'm about it. It's super cozy. So I hope you guys have all been having a really good day. I am just here to talk about food today. So if you are curious and interested in seeing what kind of foods I like to cook, especially during the fall, stay tuned. So one of my favorite all-time foods is chicken noodle soup. It's super simple. The recipe that I found for it is extremely easy. I made it just a few days ago, so I'll probably be having that for lunch today, but I'm gonna insert a couple videos and pictures of the foods that I have cooked recently. A lot of them are new recipes that I ended up learning while I was in quarantine because I had so much free time, so I figured why not. This chicken noodle soup that I made is gluten-free and it's super easy to follow. There's no starches or anything because I'm allergic to cornstarch and gluten. So it is super simple. It's literally just noodles, chicken, water, a bunch of spices, and vegetables. Very, very easy. For those of you who are interested, I am going to be doing a lot of cooking with hand videos that are going to be single recipe videos where I list all the ingredients and how I cooked it. So I'm excited for those videos to come out because I do enjoy sharing my knowledge with you guys. You all know I have a lot of food allergies and I know I'm not the only person who does, so I just wanted to put myself out there and let you guys know that there are a lot of good recipes that you can cook for yourself if you do have food allergies. You don't always have to just go and buy packaged or canned things, which honestly I did a lot of when I first found out I had food allergies because I had no idea how to really cook anything that was clean and food allergy friendly. But once I was off of work and I really had nothing else to do, I really wanted to experiment with that and see what I could create because I really did miss a lot of foods that were favorites of mine that I had to stop eating because I found out I was allergic to them. So that's why I am here to share with you guys that I am so happy I've found so many different recipes that are actually really simple. They don't require a lot of ingredients. They don't require you to spend that much money either. They're really simple and I like that. So first one, like I said, was chicken noodle soup. The second one I'm going to go into is also a soup, but it is Mediterranean white bean soup. Now, I make this really often just because it's super easy, super tasty, and it's actually pretty filling, even though it is just beans and vegetables. But it's definitely a favorite of mine, especially for around this time of year, like I said, when it's super cold outside. In my house, too. My house is all hardwood floor, so I get out of bed and I'm literally my toes turn into ice cubes. So I love just sitting down at the end of the day with a hot bowl of soup. Sign me up. The third food I'm talking about is pasta salad, and it is gluten-free and dairy-free. Yeah, dairy-free. Super easy to make. It's just like regular pasta salad, except you're using gluten-free noodles and obviously dairy-free cheese if you did want to add the cheese in. I actually really liked the mozzarella cheese that I got to use in this, and it was one of the Die brand mozzarella cheeses. Now, all of their cheese, I will admit, it's not the best, but when you mix it in with other stuff versus just eating it by itself where you can kind of taste that it's not regular cheese, it tastes a lot better. So this is a video of the pasta salad that I made recently and it came out so good. Food number 4 is chicken nuggets. I know that it's so funny, but honestly, who doesn't love chicken nuggets, you know? I really missed eating them because even the gluten-free ones that they have packaged at the grocery store, I can't eat because they still have cornstarch in them. And I swear I've searched every single store in my city and there are none. And it's a little frustrating, but it's whatever. So one day I just looked it up and honestly, the recipe was so easy. You literally slice up the chicken, toss it in the flour and spices and stuff and bake them. And it's they came out so good. I was so happy when I found this recipe because it's who doesn't love chicken nuggets? So something that's really funny is I recently fell in love with bell peppers. I don't know why I never liked them before. I think it was like the texture thing, or I just like hadn't acquired the taste. But once I found out I was allergic to everything, I realized I needed to expand my horizons a little bit and try new things. So once I started eating bell peppers, I actually really started craving them, and now I eat them and add them into a lot of the food that I make. Bell peppers are just so easy to cook. They're always really fresh. I love that crunch now of just like raw ones, but like I also like to cook them too. One of the recipes I came up with was stuffed bell peppers, and this was my first time trying to make them, and honestly, they didn't come out like an A++. They were probably like a B because I couldn't really add any cream or dairy, but I ended up doing like stuffed chicken and broccoli with rice in the bell peppers, and then I baked them. They were really good, but the only thing that was kind of hard about them was they were a little dry, which, you know, I added a little bit of like my soy-free soy sauce, the coconut aminos that I've been eating. Super simple, super tasty though, and really cheap, honestly, to buy. Like any of these recipes I'm talking about today are pretty easy ingredients, pretty cheap to purchase, and they'll feed you for like a few days, which is good because I'm all about that meal prep, baby. So one of my favorite foods is Chinese food, and recently I have become obsessed with recreating some of like Panda Express type food. So like chicken stir fry, chicken chow mein, and beef and broccoli. Those are my all-time favorite Chinese foods. And I hadn't eaten chow mein in over a year, and I like really was craving it one day. And I was like kind of upset because I can't have soy sauce. I'm allergic to soy. So I had heard about a thing called like coconut aminos, and I honestly like, I don't know why I was so reluctant to try them at first, because I was just afraid that they weren't gonna taste good, that they were just like, I don't know, like coconut aminos as a soy sauce. Like it just didn't sound like it was gonna be good to me. But one day I just gave into the stubbornness and I told myself to buy it, and I tried it and I fell in love. It is such a good substitute for soy sauce. I'll insert a picture of the brand that I use, but there are a couple of different brands, you know, for those of you who aren't allergic to soy sauce, but you do just want to try like a new substitute that is way less sodium, by the way. So this coconut amino soy sauce was literally the key to all my successful Chinese dishes. I have had such a blast learning all these new recipes and actually having the time to cook them, and they just taste so much better. They're way more fresh, like the fresh chopped vegetables I'm so in love with. I never thought I would say that like ever in my life, but I have always liked broccoli, just not bell peppers, but now I love bell peppers and carrots and broccoli and all the things. I didn't even like onions before, and I still don't really like raw onions, but like I'll cook them into pretty much everything that I'm eating, and they add such a good flavor. Also, one other thing that I've never really had are single spice jars. So I would always buy the pre-mixed seasonings and stuff, and like they taste good, but honestly they do have a lot of sodium in them. A lot of the pre-packaged ones that I have had before do have cornstarch in them, so I can't have them. But all the recipes that I have been cooking lately require like oregano, thyme, rosemary, parsley, basil, paprika, chili powder, cumin. Like, I didn't think I had a need for single spices, but once I actually bought them, you can create so many different flavors with like such small amount of spice. And it's just crazy to me that I never knew this. In 2020, it is so much easier to clean eat than it was even 5 years ago. And it's been about almost 2 years since I found out that I had food allergies. So I found out at a really good time because all these new alternatives and things had been coming out for the last few years. So I don't know what I would have done if it was like 10 years ago Like, nothing tasted good back then. There weren't as many options at all. So I'm gonna talk about the next item of food that I really like, which is white chicken chili. I can't have tomato sauce, so like regular chili with like the beef and stuff. I mean, I can have meat, but I can't have tomatoes, which I still eat a little bit of every now and then, and I'm fine as long as I don't eat like a whole bunch. A little bit of acid reflux and nausea, it's fine. So I already did put out a cooking video on this white chicken chili recipe. I list all the ingredients, I list all the steps. I will link it down below in the description box for you. I'm happy that I can come to you guys and tell you about all these, not new foods, but like food allergy friendly foods that can be made gluten-free, dairy-free, free of corn, soy, like all that stuff. I just really wanted to be able to tell you guys that there are options out there and they taste so good. Now for a few sweets that are my favorite. I recently found Sprouts Farmers Market is my favorite grocery store that I go to because they literally have everything, but they just came out with their own brand of coconut milk ice cream and it is so good. And I also found that they have coconut waffle cones. I haven't had an ice cream cone in over 2 years. So when I made this the other day, like I almost cried. It was so good. That ice cream and Good Pop popsicles are so good. These are some of my favorites. I love the strawberry shortcake, strawberry lemonade. I love the Outshine bars, the strawberry, the grape, the raspberry. They're all so good. Before I even had to change my diet, I was definitely more of a like sorbet girl or like sherbet. So I didn't really like super sweet ice creams, which is why I'm glad that there's so many like fruit pop ice cream popsicles and like stuff like that, because like I don't need all like the peanut butter, chocolate. Like those are good every now and then, but I can't have chocolate anyway, so it's like, it's fine. The last thing I want to talk about are Black Forest gummy bears. They are corn syrup free, gluten free, made with tapioca syrup, depending on the bag, weirdly enough. I always have to check because some of the bigger bags do have corn syrup in them, or some of like the different like gummy worm bags also do have corn syrup in them, which I feel like is honestly a little confusing because I feel like if it's one brand, they should make them all the same. And I haven't had gummy worms in years, but like this brand of gummy bears has been like my go-to for the last year and a half, and it is so good. They're made, like I said, with tapioca syrup, so they are just as sweet as regular gummy bears. You don't have to worry about there being no sugar in them because these are so good. They're chewy, the consistency is really good, they're gummy and like not super hard, which, you know, is good. They just taste like fruit and like a clean candy. I just wanted to come to you guys and share with you all of these foods and recipes that I have recently discovered. When I was in quarantine, I was trying to cook one new recipe a week, which is why I have stacked up on a few of these. I did learn how to recently bake vegan, gluten, and dairy-free banana bread, which I will have a video on that. I am excited to announce that is coming soon. And I got a snickerdoodle recipe from a friend that is also vegan and gluten-free. But I mainly just wanted to show you guys that there are a lot of options out there. And if you do find out you have food allergies, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to explore the internet. Like Pinterest is one of my best friends now because they have so many recipes on there. And each thing that I find, even if you have to like sub out one ingredient, like that's really not that big of a deal. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share with you guys a lot of the recipes that I'm going to be making single videos on. If you have any requests on any of these items, leave a comment down below and I will release one of those first if you are wanting. But if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys watching all my videos, and I love just making new content for you guys because it's fun. It gives me something to do, and like, I don't know, it's just like, it's a fun hobby of mine that I really love, especially doing like the makeup aspect of it. I love creating art and just like showing that as much as I can. So thanks for hanging with me today, guys. That is it for this video. I will see you next week. Bye!